Hello, everyone. My name is Deanna Harris. Welcome to the Black Women in Media's 5th Conference and Awards. We are excited to introduce you Tae Renae, makeup artist and influencer and entrepreneur. How are you doing, Tae Renae?
I am doing fabulous. How are you doing?
Good. We are so excited to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Of course, anytime.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I am a makeup artist. I am also a momtrepreneur. I like to say momtrepreneur because we can't leave that mom part out, right? Because
Uh-huh.
that's like such an important part of being an entrepreneur and when you're also a mom. And then also I'm an influencer, a beauty influencer.
How did you get started in this career of beauty?
Oh, how did I get started? So I've always been surrounded by women who were fabulous. Like I grew up around fabulous women. My mother was really into makeup, and so was my grandmother. I mean, in that time it was really just rouge and lipstick, but I was all into it. They were fabulous, and I was here for it. So I was inspired by that. And then when I moved to Atlanta as a poor college student, I had to figure out ways to beautify myself and amplify my look. And I had to make it an affordable situation in order for me to go to castings and different things like that because I started out acting and modeling. So
Well, your
that's
makeup, sorry, your makeup looks flawless. I love the eyeshadow that you have going on. It
Thank
really
you,
pops in.
girl. I actually
No
tried something
problem.
new. I've tried something new.
Oh, really? Can you share with us?
I did. Okay, so this is like a brown smoky eye.
Mm.
And so I actually tried this out. I never do smokies on myself because I feel like sometimes they can be like just a little bit too much. But
Mhm.
I did it today and I'm like,
You gotta get it on, girl. So now you mentioned that you had to figure out affordable ways to be able to live the dream that you're living today. How can somebody who's looking to get into this industry, can you share some tips on how they can um, figure it out and make it affordable and really live out their dreams?
the first thing I would say to do is find a mentor. I think it's very important to find inspiration, to be surrounded by people who are actually living the dream that you want to live, and
Mm-hmm.
to closely associate yourself with, with dreamers and believers. That's the first thing that I did. I understudied a lot of professionals. And eventually, after absorbing all of that knowledge and experience, I was able to branch off on my own.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's basically just aligning yourself with people who are like-minded and really believing in yourself as well.
Absolutely. And study, study, practice, practice, practice. I'm still practicing and I've been doing
Mhm.
this for 12 years now.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So how do you get star clients and how do you negotiate a contract?
How do you get star clients? So
Mhm.
I would say the first thing would be to establish yourself as a brand,
Mm.
know what you want to represent, know the type of clientele you want to attract, and make sure your work and technique speaks to that.
Mm.
Because oftentimes you'll find someone that says, "Oh, I want to do so and so's makeup," but when you look at their brand, and whether that be on social media, a website, or anything of that sort, it doesn't really align with, like, the two don't go together. So
Mm.
I feel like you can manifest what you want as long as you're putting that same what you want to get in exchange. When you want to get from the universe, you have to put out. So if you're putting in that work and you're promoting it and it's good quality, I feel like they will find you. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
as long as
Yeah.
you're consistent, and consistency is key.
Yes, definitely. I like that advice. So you have an incredible career. What are some of the highlights from your career that you would love to share with us?
Some highlights. Well, I would definitely say one major highlight was touring. Not very many artists get the opportunity to tour, but I was able to tour with Escape, and
Mhm.
I was able to tour for the dungeon, which is like an extension of my client's brand. And that was pretty awesome. That was a moment for me where I was like, oh, wow, I'm really, and that was just about like 2 or 3 years ago, where it was like, oh, wow, like I'm really like, even though I had been doing it's like I'm doing this, like taking it on the road, like it was so fun. And my next highlight, I would say, would be doing my series Beauty Talk with Tae. That
Mhm.
was so awesome. I was able to wear the co-executive producer hat, and I was very, very hands-on with developing that. So that was definitely another major highlight in my career. And lastly, I would say another highlight was when I was able to give back to the community during COVID-19
Mm.
through a makeup webinar workshop.
Yeah, that's amazing to be able to give back during this time, especially. And have you been able to keep your business afloat during these times?
Woo. You know, it's so
Mhm.
funny because I was on maternity leave when COVID first hit. I just had a baby. And what I started doing was I started just coming up with creative ways to stay involved with the makeup community. I would do classes, I would go live, I would do, tutorials, I would film them from home. And I was also working on a creative side for another makeup line. So that was pretty awesome.
So being able to take your talents and being able to expand them during this time so that you can stay afloat. And
Yes.
congratulations on being a mother. That is
Thank
so exciting.
you. Thank you so much.
So now being able to be a mother, be a makeup artist, be a producer, be able to tour, how do you balance everything?
I have me a glass of wine,
Ah, I know that's right.
honestly, I would say it's my faith
Mhm,
because sometimes you can get overwhelmed because you're being pulled in so many different directions, especially when you are very passionate about family
mhm.
and you want to have a strong foundation for your children. I would say my balance has been my faith. It's been definitely prayer and faith.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely important to keep you balanced. Um, with being again,
Oh,
oh,
and the gym.
oh, okay.
I have to I get my head together in the gym.
Yeah, sometimes we just gotta sweat it out. So being again pulled in different directions, what is the biggest challenge for you in this industry?
Oh, that's a tough one. Um, the biggest challenge is walking in and owning the integrity of your brand, right? Because of course in every career and there is competition. There are going to be people who also do what you do, and they may do it for much less than what you do. So, although you can go shopping at, whatever kind of family convenience store, or you can go to a high end prestige, store, and just maintaining the integrity, trying to remain like that high end and, give people that high end experience and don't let them question your value. Um, that's the biggest challenge right now because we're
Mhm,
seeing a rise of so many different artists, which I absolutely love. I'm so
mhm,
excited about the new artists coming into the industry, but there's also like an integrity that comes with that
mhm.
could compromise those that have worked very hard to be in the position that they are.
Yeah, yeah. Staying true to yourself and being authentic throughout this industry, definitely. Um, for sorry, give me one second. For So what sets you apart from the other makeup artists? Because like you said, there are so many different makeup artists who are trying to get into the industry, makeup artists who have come before you. What sets you apart, and how do you brand yourself to set you apart from everybody else?
Honestly, I would say what sets me apart is me. And that part,
Mm,
I mean, it's not exactly like, oh, I'm so like this, like you'll never get this experience with someone else, or you'll never get this look with someone else. It's more what I bring. Like, I'm passionate about my client. If
mm,
you're my client and you're sitting in my presence and you've given me the opportunity to give you an experience, I'm looking at you as if you're a person, you're a human being. You need something from me, and for me, I give more than makeup. It's been so many times where I've connected with my clients. We've talked about relationships, we've talked about love, heartbreak, we've talked about healing, we've talked about so many different things. And I would say what separates me from the next artist is that I care a lot more about you than your makeup.
mm. I love that. That's amazing. I really do. And what do you love most about being a makeup artist?
I love It's a fun girls' time. I've always
Yeah.
been a girl. I don't have any sisters or anything like that. So I just love the bonding experience personally. It's like
Hmm.
you create this sisterhood with this group of women that you see so often, and eventually you become like family. That's my favorite part about it.
That's amazing. What type of advice can you give to a woman who's looking to change up her style a bit? Sh-
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would tell her to go for it, be
Mm.
fearless and start with something small. Let it
Ooh, okay.
I would say make it a gradual change and
Hmm.
not just everything all at once.
Hmm.
If you want to switch it up, change the hair a little bit, then you can change the clothes, then you can, go from wearing pink lipstick to orange lipstick. It's just like these subtle changes you can make, and then before you know it, you're this full new person that you absolutely are in love with.
Hmm. What three makeup items should a woman not leave home with?
Well, let me think about what's in my armrest in my car. Okay, I have a pair of lashes, and that's just because I'm making. That's because I'm making. You just never know what's gonna happen. You got to have some glue and a pair of lashes. So
Yeah.
that's two items, though. But for an everyday woman, I would say mascara,
Okay.
lipstick for sure, or gloss,
Hmm.
and I would say concealer.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with those ones for sure.
Honestly, if you have that concealer, girl, you can highlight, reverse contour,
Hmm.
and be on point in a matter of minutes.
Hmm. Let's talk about contouring. How
Mhm.
can someone contour their face if they wanted to learn? What are some like tips and advice that you can give?
So with contouring, I would say keep it simple for like an everyday person.
Hmm.
Um, Mostly, okay, so when you contour, what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring out the structure of your face. Because if you put on just foundation, then you look flat, like really one dimensional, right? If
Okay.
we're just looking at each other. But when you put on contour, when you put on powder and different things like that, it kind of gives your face a little bit more dimension. So I would say for an everyday woman, to start, I have a trick. Start with the shape three, right? So
Hmm.
three this way, right? So you want to brush some bronzer here, go down, right? And then you come back down, and that's a three. That's the quickest way to contour, to go just like that with your brush and your contour color.
Okay, cool. Thank you for clarifying that because I know sometimes I'd be in the mirror and I'm like, does it go this way? Does it go that way? Like, what am I
Yeah,
doing here?
let's
So,
take that brush and run it on down here and run it on
mhm.
down there, and good to go.
Awesome. What are some other what are just like your top beauty products recommendations for makeup?
Like brands or?
Yes, like brands, sorry. Mm-hmm. Yep,
Okay, so
brands.
I'm a super fan of Fenty Beauty. I love everything Fenty just about. I love their skincare. They just launched their skincare line.
Mm-hmm.
I love their lipsticks. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
honestly can't do any wrong in my book. I've also worn the foundation. Also, I have my kit right here. I left it here just in case
Hey.
you asked me some questions. My little everything kit.
Can we see it?
Really? Oh, let me see if I
Yeah.
heavy. But
Oh, if you can.
this.
Oh, wow. Oh, you are ready to go.
So this is my handy dandy kit. Usually when I have a client or two, I carry
Mhm.
something like this where it's customized for them and for their
Mm.
experience. I would say you can't go without this MAC Fix
Oh,
Plus
okay.
spray, honey. It just refreshes your look. It makes everything look nice and settled. You know,
Mhm.
when things are like over powdery or something looks a little too harsh, this can
Mhm.
always like soften and calm that down. So I love that. And then I would also say, um, I love what is it? LA Girl concealer.
Okay.
These
Nice.
are so handy and they are
Oh,
so
yes,
in
I've seen it before.
girl. These are like $3 from the beauty supply store. So I absolutely love it. And then yeah, I have so many different products that I love. I can go on and on. I love Black Radiance's blush. Are you familiar with Black Radiance?
I'm not familiar. Maybe if I see, I know, like, I see
Yes.
some of the products I might be able to see.
Black Radiance, I'm telling you, I use I actually just use this on myself, but I use like this little blush here.
Okay,
It's
no, I'm not familiar.
yeah, I love that. I love that as well.
That's a nice color.
Yeah, it's called Brick House.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for sharing those gems. I'm gonna keep that in mind for later so
You
I can
know,
figure out my
that
makeup.
was free. That was free.
Now, you mentioned that you have a specific, like the box that you just showed, um, cater to your client and their experience. How do you determine what their experience is and what they want before you go to the shoot?
So it depends on who you're working with, how long you've been working with them. Based on certain clients, sometimes when I'm getting a new client and say they're a big name, I'll do my research. I'll look at their Instagram. I'll look at their style. You know, I kind of gauge, okay, she never wears dark eyeshadow. Okay, so we won't be needing that. She's usually nude on the lips, so we won't need to pack any bright red shades or but you do have like your staples like red and pink that you want to carry just in case. But I
Mhm.
usually do that. And then after working with the client for so long, is they usually put everything in your hands. So if it's a green screen or if it's a film day and you know that they want to turn it up a notch, then you just pack, you know, something that's going to bring them out a little bit.
Okay, something a little extra. You always have something a little extra in your bag.
Always something a little extra. Always.
Who is your dream celebrity to be able to do makeup?
What? Who is my dream celebrity? Whose makeup I want to do? That is such, nobody's ever asked me that. Hmm. I would have to say, I would say Issa Rae.
Ooh, I love her.
I love her
Uh-huh.
skin,
Yes,
her
always can.
style.
Mhm.
I would definitely say her.
Yeah, yeah, she
Oh,
has.
and Rihanna. And Rihanna.
Oh, of course, Rihanna.
Yes.
Using the Fenty products.
Yes, it'll be a whole Fenty glam experience.
That's amazing. Can you tell me what it's like on set with your clients? What is the atmosphere? Do you always feel like you have it under control, or is there something that comes up last minute that you might have to rearrange? Tell us about that experience.
Oh, I've been in so many different situations. But normally it's pretty calm for the most
Okay.
part. I would say the most chaos I experienced was during tour, when I
Mm,
was touring. But usually when I'm on set, it's pretty chill.
hmm.
I do feel like I'm pretty much in control.
It's good.
We pretty much have a timeline, and we commit to that. And with makeup, it's usually pretty simple. I would
Mhm.
say that hairstylists usually have it the worst, because sometimes they might be like, oh, I put this on and I don't like how this looks with this.
Oh,
But I'm pretty good on set. I actually enjoy it.
that's great. How do you stay up to date with the latest beauty trends? I feel like this industry is constantly showcasing new products. How do you stay up to date with everything?
I have never been really into following trends. Um,
Mm,
I do pay attention to what I see. Like, say if I'm like watching television, I'm watching award shows. I usually pay attention to red carpets. I pay attention to covers. I have a lot. So you can see a magazine behind me. I have plenty
mhm,
magazines, and I usually get the new issues. I look at what's on the cover. I don't really look at much of anything else. I look at the
mhm,
makeup on the covers, and it's something that's in my subconscious mind, because I don't ever
yeah.
pay attention to trends. I just do what I feel, and that's what you do as an artist. You just do what you
Mhm, yep. And so that's where you get your inspiration from what's around you and the magazines,
feel.
correct? That's amazing.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
television, like
Ooh,
also on television, like award shows and things like that.
that's amazing. What is one piece of advice that you can give? Um, I know we had mentioned it before, to someone really trying to make it within this makeup industry. What is some more advice? I just want to touch upon that one more time.
Okay, I would say to definitely practice a lot,
Hmm.
and even if it's on yourself, to definitely
Hmm.
practice on yourself, to invest in yourself.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes I understand that people have a smaller budget and they don't have as much to start out with, but I definitely feel like that investment is what separates you from the next person. And when I say investing, I'm not just talking about products in your kit. I'm talking about classes. I'm
Hmm.
talking about, you know, joining webinars and different things like
Hmm.
that. And I would also say to believe in yourself, to have faith in your craft. If
Hmm.
you believe in yourself, that shows in what you do.
Hmm.
You're unsure, that also shows in what you do.
Hmm.
And I would say just be consistent. And you don't have to do this all overnight. You don't have to wake up tomorrow and say, I'm quitting my job. I want to be a makeup artist today. It has to make sense for you and your situation.
Yeah.
I also highly, highly recommend people evaluate their situations and go at your own pace. That's my advice.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that again. What is next for you?
What's next for me? Oh, I have so much. It's so funny you asked me that, because I have so much to do when I get out of here. I have so much going on right now. I have so much going on right now. We are actually going to be in production working on Beauty Talk with Tay season 2.
Oh,
So I am
congrats.
super excited about that.
That's
I
awesome.
have a product that I am
Mhm.
launching really soon. So everybody needs to be on the lookout for that. And then also, I have another business for people who are trying to get started in makeup. So it's going to be
Oh,
catered to aspiring artists and just artists who want to elevate, that their clientele, or just take their career to the next level. So I'm also starting a business that's geared towards that. So,
that is amazing.
and
Wow.
then
I wish.
turns one in on just a
Aw,
couple weeks. So it's a
how
lot.
cute. Oh my God, you have your plate full. I wish you the best in all your endeavors. And One last question I want to ask you is, what is one quote that you live by?
One quote that I live by. My quote that I live by is show up for yourself.
Mm, that's
I truly have used that to get through hard times
yeah.
because we tend to show up for our employers, we show up for our children, we show up for people, for Georgia Power, for whatever gas company, we show up to pay our mortgage, we show up for things that we have to do, but we never really take the time and give that much dedication to ourselves. And that's what showing up for yourself means. It's putting that same energy and effort into yourself that you put into your other obligations.
Yeah, and it's so important because if you don't give that energy and that self-love, then you cannot show up for anything else.
Absolutely. That's why you should show up for yourself first.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. You have a wonderful story, and I had a pleasure talking with you. I wish you the best of luck in everything else that you have going on. You are a superwoman, and just thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, good night.
Good night.